Not life, but good life is to be chiefly valued. Quote of the day by Socrates. So getting to Chainlink, we're going to look at Chainlink today on the hourly chart, the daily chart, the weekly chart, see some important key levels, and just kind of do a summary for, the rest of the days ahead. Let's check it out, where we are now, where we could be going, resistance, support, all that good stuff. So looking at the hourly chart, we had a nice move up here, good volume, right? Some good buy volume. Now we're getting a little bit of a kind of a throwback here, right? So throwbacks after you break a price level, kind of go back and test that breakout, right? So we're kind of in that zone, right? Chainlink doesn't like to kind of subscribe to the exact line theory, but more zones for Chainlink. Some coins will do that. Bitcoin, right? Because it's have its long history, because it has more liquidity in it, has a little bit more defined levels, but altcoins tend to follow Bitcoin, roughly in their footsteps, but they'll be all slightly different. So now we're in this zone. If we close this hourly candle, we have 22 minutes. So depending on when you watch this video, go check this candle out. If it closed under this zone, then likely we're starting to kind of roll over here, at least temporarily. And then what do we have to look at? We have to look at the next zone. So we want to go immediately down to this area where we tried to find support before, and kind of look right in that area. And you can even include the wick. So right around the $6 area, 603 on the hourly chart, right? So not as important as the daily or weekly chart for sure, but looking at shorter time frames, this is where you want to hold if we close this candle below here. If not, then the trend can likely continue over the next several hours at least. So let's zoom out now and see what this zone looks like on the daily chart, right? Not much, right? So let's go ahead and remove that zone, right? It's important to kind of reevaluate certain levels on the chart that you're looking at. So maybe we can redraw that zone and kind of this area right there, right? Why? Because there's kind of our previous kind of resistance zone, and now we can even shrink that a little bit on the daily. Let's zoom this in, and now we can see that our breakout, kind of our level of that zone, right? We're getting a breakout. Maybe we come back and do just like we did on the hourly chart and get kind of a throwback of this EMA 8, maybe in the next, day or two, and we come back and test kind of right in the $6 level, right? This zone, right? You can even, this is a little bit more defined. So if you want, you can kind of throw a line on it right there, that red line, right around just north of 6, right? So don't be surprised if we come back there over the next day or two. And then that will be key for the daily chart. Right? Will we hold? If we do, we can continue the trend. If we don't, we're more likely to roll over. So just keep an eye on that, right? Price is king. You can have all the rumors you want, and he said, she said. The price, the charts will dictate where everything goes, okay? So this is the key level to be watching if we get a throwback here. If not, maybe we just continue up, right? And then where would our resistance be? You want to always look at bullish and bearish. You want to look at both sides of the coin. Any person you're following that's only looking at bearish sentiment or bullish sentiment, you want to kind of fade those people, right? You want to be looking at both sides of the coin at all times forever, right? So the upside, if we continue, next logical area on the daily chart is the 100-day EMA in the blue here. That number, I'm glad you asked. It's just north of, right around 663 as of now, right? That would also kind of coincide to our kind of our zone right in this area, right? So this is going to be key if we continue up, right? Or maybe we just do something like this, right? We have our uptrend. We kind of throw back, retest, and then go, right? Looking at towards the next week or something, next 10 days, right? This would kind of rhyme with that. And then we'll see how we interact at that point, right? So that's another scenario we could do. Could we go right to it? Of course. Could we throw back over the next couple days and kind of retest this zone, right? This will be the key. If we hold it, great. We have this scenario likely. If we don't, then, we're looking at a kind of a fake out up here and kind of give it back, and then probably looking at fresh lows, right? So those are what you want to be looking for Chainlink, for Bitcoin, right? Follow Bitcoin as well. And, more importantly than that, looking at multiple time frames always, right? Keep it simple, right? The more complex your strategy, it's just more likely to fail, right? Keep it simple, right? Bollinger Bands, moving averages, you can do a lot, right? Japanese candlesticks, support resistance. You don't need a whole lot more, right? Couple indicators, sure. But if you have 47 lines on your chart, I know it looks like that complex now. You're like, what are you talking about? You have 47. It's just moving averages, right? You can only have one or two if you want, but more importantly, look at multiple charts, right? That was the, traditional candlesticks. This is the closing prices, right? So if you're starting to close above certain moving averages that you haven't closed above in a while, right? That's worth noting. And then, closing below, right? That's worth noting. Also, you can look at Heikin Ashi candles. That tells you momentum. So these are opposite of traditional candlesticks, where the wick will show you the momentum. So wicks on the upper side here are showing you that this is bullish. Bulls are pulling it up. You can think of it like that, right? And the counter, right? Bears pushing it down, right? Pulling it down for the bears, pulling it up for the bulls, right? So far, based on the daily chart, we have bullish momentum, but you can see these lower wicks creeping in, right? No bears down here, but now the bears are starting to grab hold of us. So we still have bulls outweighing, so you want to be paying attention to those. When you start fighting, then you can start changing, right? But worth noting, Heikin Ashi candles can come in, just another tool for your toolkit. So add them to your chart if you want to do that, right? Just right here, drop down, and just star whatever you want up in your hair, right? There it is, Heikin Ashi right there, right? So if you don't know, now you know. Now let's zoom out to the weekly. We're going a mile a minute. Let's see where we're at now. Right now it's a little bit more clear that we're kind of still stuck in the mud here. Right, here's our kind of support zone from 530 all the way up to just under $6 area. For the human psychology, $6 is a decent level. But looking at it like this, right, here's your support zone. We're basically been going sideways for 78 years now for Chainlink. So we want to really get out of the $10 area, which would likely coincide to our 200 week, our biggest moving average right there in the pink. Probably just going to be just shy of $10 when we get to it. Probably still going to take some weeks or months, right? We're still looking at, look at the time frames in the bottom here. We're looking at April, or maybe even looking at, summertime before we can have a chance at that again, right? We can make a move, but right, you got to stack your weeks back to back to get up here. This is a significant move, right? From where we are now, we're looking at just a slight 50% plus move, right? So not going to be like tomorrow, right? But this is what we want to keep an eye on. And let's clear this out. And speaking of keeping an eye on, we want to watch where this weekly candle closes. We want to see if we can close above the MA8. Then we need to see if we can do it twice in a row, right? That's key for a lot of altcoins. Getting above a moving average that you haven't in a while, and then doing it twice, which we haven't really done, right? Anytime we've gotten above and looking at a bullish move for Chainlink, it's kind of giving it right back almost immediately, right? So we're stuck in this kind of massive 78-year consolidation zone. We got to break free, and it's just going to take some time. So patience, obviously, if you're in Chainlink, you've probably got more patience than most. So hold the ship steady. We'll break out at some point, but here's your kind of more TA based looking at moving averages. Forget all the naysayers, the positive people, right? Look at the charts. The prices don't lie. We have not closed above the MA21 in quite some time, as you can see here. Even our rallies, right? We get above it, but we don't close. So if we do that, right, $7, right? Set an alert if you want to know how to do that. Right click your trading view chart, add alert, right? Just do that. And then just go in here, type in 7.00, right? Create that alert, and then just don't worry about it. If you're, wanting to, then you see your little orange arrow pop up, right? And then your chart will ding at you on your phone. You can even set it to your phone, your computer, your laptop, whatever the hell you're using. And then you'll get a ding, and then you can start to pay attention, right? If we close above that on the weekly, then we probably got something going. Not because of Chase says so, because of the damn chart, right? Look at the chart. We have not closed above the EMA 21 in just a year, only a year, right? If something's happening for the first time in a year, wake up, right? That's something worth note, worth grammar, right? English, but worth noting. How about that? So that's kind of my wrap up nutshell Chainlink daily update. We'll try to do more of these. I know most of my followers like Chainlink, so my videos that I do Chainlink tend to get the best views. So Thumbs up if you haven't already. Follow us on Telegram. There's a free one. There's a private one if you want more information. I posted like 7 videos in there today already on, just trying to become a little bit better trader than we were yesterday. That's what that group's kind of about. And Twitter, right? We have free Twitter. That's all linked below, right? So that's that. We did the quote of the day. Might as well do the car of the day. The Aston Martin 177. One of the nicest ones, the Aston Martin's got, and one of the rarest ones. They only made 77, so, riddle me that. Why do they call it that? There's the rear, and you can't have one. They're all sold out, and they're hard to come by, but that's one of their best looking ones, besides when they get to the upper echelon in the multi-million-dollar cars, but that's another story. Maybe we'll cover one of those at a later date. That's Chainlink wrapped up in a 10 minutes of your life you'll never get back. I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for stopping by, and patience.